What does it mean to have a north node in your third house in your birth chart? Watch this video where I'm going to cover everything you need to know about having a third house north node. Hello and welcome to Making Mindfulness Fun. I'm Isabelle, the co-founder and personality expert here at Making Mindfulness Fun. I help you understand who you are using personality types. Today I'm talking about astrology and one of the most important aspects in your birth chart. I say there are three main points or planets in your birth chart that are the most important to know. And those are your moon sign, your north node, and your Lilith. Today I'm talking about the north node and the south node, which again are always going to be one and the same because they are an aspect between each other. So whenever I talk about the north node, the south node is naturally going to come up as well. Today I'm talking about what it means to have a north node in your third house. Me and Gabby have been covering a whole series on what it means to have the north and south node through all of the signs, but I wanted to talk about what it means to have them in each house because these are two components of your north node that you need to know. You not only need to know the sign that it's in, which is the energy, the archetype that you need to learn to embrace, but you need to learn the house it's in because it's the area of your life you need to focus on. Whatever house your south node is in is the area of life you tend to be drawn towards or overuse. And your north node, whatever house that is in, is the area of life you need to grow into. Really quick, if you don't even know what a north node is in the first place, the north and south node are a point in your birth chart that represent your highest path to growth and your past life karma. If you don't believe in reincarnation, your south node is simply the area or your talents that you overuse. The parts of you that you mastered or tend to be good at, but you don't necessarily grow from these areas of your life. You tend to stay stuck in a certain energy field. And by growing into your north node, this is your highest path to growth in this lifetime, but it can also just help you expand your capacity and grow into a better version of yourself. So whether you believe in reincarnation or not, think of the south node as like an Enneagram stress number, and the north node is like your Enneagram growth number. So naturally, with a north node in your third house, you're going to have a south node in your ninth house. The north and south node are always going to be opposite of each other. There's no possible way to have a north node maybe in your fifth house and a south node in your 12th house. They always have to be the opposite of each other. They work on a direct axis. So with a north node in your third house, you have a south node in your ninth house. And if you don't know what exactly those houses mean, here's a quick overview. The third house is all about everyday communication and everyday people. This is where you think you walk out your door and there's your neighbor or there's your other relative that you talk to every day. You interact with your siblings every day. The grocery store you go to, the laundromat. Not necessarily your career community, but the people maybe you interact with every day via your career. These are the themes of the third house, and it has to do mainly not only with just the people that you interact with every day or the places you interact with every day, but how you interact with them. It is all about the interaction, the mental part, the connection, the communication, and that is the highlighted theme of the third house. It's how you communicate with these areas. So a lot of the third house has to do with our thought process and communication. After all, it is related to Gemini. There's always a corresponding sign to go with each house, and Gemini is the correlating sign that goes with the third house. So Gemini is all about not only like, hey, being the life of the party, social butterfly, but it's also about how we think. Gemini is said to be the messenger, so it's how we transfer thought to word to other people and how they react back at us. So a third house is all about our communication and our communication in our everyday life. It's very much small talk, so to say. The ninth house, on the other hand, corresponds with Sagittarius, which is the opposite of Gemini because they are opposing each other. So where the third house is all about everyday communication, small talk, just general social life, the ninth house is about the spiritual journey, about how we as human beings are here on a life path, walking a path where we are naturally going to learn important spiritual lessons that are going to help us grow and shape our identity. So it has to do a lot with philosophy, deep meaning, looking beyond the surface. These are the themes of the ninth house. The ninth house also has to do with travel. So the third house has to do with your everyday life, your neighbors, your communication, where you go every day, the grocery store, laundromat, like I said. The ninth house is about faraway places, faraway voyages, things that you don't see every day because it has to do with what's on the horizon, like Sagittarius is always looking to the horizon. So with a south node in your ninth house, you tend to be overly focused on ninth house themes. I like to think of the north node in third house and the south node in the ninth house as the biggest overthinkers possible. Different from how the Scorpio South Node is an overthinker, though. The Scorpio South Node will overthink things and hyperanalyze, whereas the ninth house South Node is going to just overthink concepts itself because they've naturally been drawn towards trying to find a deeper meaning. With a South Node in ninth house, you always are looking beyond the surface of what the deeper meaning of life is, what your spiritual beliefs are, how things shape who you are. You very much see yourself as the hero of your story, or perhaps maybe even a martyr, so to say. And this is where the detriment comes for a South Node ninth house, is that they tend to view themselves as on this long path journey looking to the horizon, and they can get stuck in a I'm never going to reach my final destination mindset. So these people are always looking for down the line what their growth is going to be, believing that it has to take a long time because they're on this long path as a hero of the story, and that it's going to take a long time for them to reach the conclusion. With a North Node in third house, someone with a ninth house South Node is to realize that what they're looking for is basically right under their nose. The third house, again, is everyday life, everyday communication, things that are right here in the present. Representative of Gemini, who is very present. So with a North Node in your third house, you're supposed to get yourself out of the long-term vision, which might not always appear as having a long-term plan. It might just be thinking about yourself unconsciously as this martyr or hero of your story who has to overcome struggle and strife, and get present and realize that everything you're looking for is right here, and it's in how you communicate. Because the third house is not just the things and the people and the places in your present life, in your everyday life. It's about how you interact with them. So a third house North Node really has to focus in this lifetime on how they interact with things in their everyday life, and this is where they can have the most change. A South Node ninth house can be very drawn towards thinking about the concept of change, or the concept of a journey, or the concept of any information, where they love just thinking about the general gist of it. Whereas a North Node in third house is supposed to realize and take in the details. Something that a ninth house South Node can struggle with is that they'll take in all this information and think, oh, that's cool, but they don't see how it applies to their everyday life. And as someone with a lot of Gemini energy in their chart, every information I take in is how does this apply to me? And so this is something that a South Node ninth house actually might find really hard. Depending on what sign it's in, this could be different. I know someone who has a North Node in their third house in Sagittarius, so it can create a bit of a paradox for them, but we're not going to go into that aspect specifically. If you have this aspect and you want to hear more about it, leave a comment below and I'll cover it later. But the North Node in third house has to learn how to apply things to their day-to-day life, how to apply information to their day-to-day life so that they can improve their day-to-day life and live in the present more fully. And since the third house is representative of our everyday connections, a North Node third house really needs to pay attention to how they interact with their people in their day-to-day life and where they're missing out on connection. Oftentimes, because of their South Node in the ninth house, they can think that connection is going to take a long time or be more distant when it comes to connecting with people because they're so busy, consciously or unconsciously, thinking about something else, thinking about their hero story or their victim story if we're not in growth. And instead, they need to learn how to become present right here and how they can connect with people. So if you have a North Node third house, ask yourself, what is in my life right now? What information have I attained, and how can I apply this to connect with people right now? And how can I mentally connect with these people even deeper than before? This might be a hard concept for you. After all, it is a very hard thing to do since it's our highest growth in this lifetime. That's what the North Node represents. But overall, the third house North Node needs to learn just to be more present, enjoy small talk, so to say, and see how you can connect with people, even if it's not this deep, dramatic thing, but get connected with them and enjoy your everyday social life more. And forget about the whole philosophy. Forget about the whole hero story. You mastered that in your past life. Just focus on being present now and being with your everyday community, and focus on your everyday communication. For this reason, it might be important for you to know your Mercury more than other people. If this video helps you understand what it meant to have a North Node in your third house and a South Node in your ninth house, please leave a comment below and let me know. And what else do you struggle with as a North Node in third house? How have you overcome your hurdles and moved towards your path to growth as a North Node in your third house? Let us know in the comments below and let me know what else I missed. If you want more support in stepping into your North Node instead of just talking theory and taking in more information about your North Node, hit the link below to join Be the Hero, where we're showing up every day on this group membership to guide you, nurture you, and inspire you on your path to growth. If you're watching this before the end of the year of 2022, I'm doing a live call about stepping into your North Node and using it for your New Year's resolutions, because everyone sets New Year's resolutions wrong, and including me. And the North Node is a great way to set New Year's resolutions better. So join Be the Hero in the link below. And if you're new to astrology and you just learned about your North Node and you want to learn more about applying your chart, not just taking in the data, hit the link below in the description to get the free birth chart workbook where I walk you through the basics of your chart and how you can apply them to your life to improve your life so you can have better health, better relationships, and better connections. So leave that comment below, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and stay tuned for further videos on the North Node through the houses. Namaste.